Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to learn one of the most important skills in automation testing, debugging playwright test. Writing test cases is only half of the job, but real challenge starts when a test fails and you don't know why. So in this video, I will show you step by step how to debug playwright test using real example. We will use headed mode, debug mode, playwright inspector, page.pause. By the end of this video, you will be confident in identifying failure and fixing them quickly instead of guessing. So let's see why debugging is important. So every automation engineer faces this problem. A test is stuck, element is not found, or test passes today and fails tomorrow. Many beginners think automation is only about writing code, but in reality, automation is about understanding failure. If you cannot debug a failing test, you cannot scale automation. So that's why debugging is critical skill for every playwright tester. So let's see what most common debugging situation. This is the most common situation you will see. Your test is running, but it looks stuck. Playwright logs something like waiting for locator. So what playwright is actually telling you is very simple. I am waiting because I cannot find element in the DOM. This message is not an error, it's a clue. Now we can see debug method 1 headed mode. Uh, the first and simplest debugging method is headed mode. By default, Playwright runs in headed mode, meaning you cannot see the browser. When you use the hyphen added flag, the browser open visibly, and we can see each step and understand where the test is failing. So this is very useful for beginners. So we have next debug method, debug mode. It's a very important. We can type npx playwright test space hyphen debug. When we can run test with hyphen debug, playwright automatically open the playwright inspector and then the test execution pauses and you get full control over the browser and the DOM. So if you remember only one command from this video, you can remember this one. This is very important. So next we can see Playwright Inspector. Inspector can pause execution, highlight element and suggest best locator and show DOM view. So Playwright Inspector shows you exactly how Playwright sees your application and you can over elements, highlight them and every generate recommended locators. It also shows the DOM snapshot every steps. This helps you understand file locator is failing. Think of inspector as a bridge between your test code and the browser. So now we can see debug method 3 page.pause. Sometimes we don't want to debug entire test. We want to pause at specific steps. So that's where page.pause helps. When playwright reaches this line, execution stops and inspector opens. This is the perfect for live debugging while developing test. This is the recommended and correct command. So we can see this is the live example and we can execute every commands, debug commands and we can see what will happen. Now let's debug real test on live website. We will use this login page to demonstrate very common locator mistake that beginners may make. So I am opening my Visual Studio. So this is the locator.spec.js test case last time we created and executed. So now we can run every debug command step by step. So I am opening the terminal, new terminal, and we can execute this command using headed mode. So for this I have type npx playwright test, then test case name. We want to execute specific test case. That's why I am giving test case name locator.spec.js and then space hyphen hyphen added. Now I am entering, and we can see test case is running started, website is open, enter the username, and we can see the report. Here we can see password is not enter, so we can see check at the password field, test cases failed, so we can see the report, and in this report we can see test cases fail at here, um, await page dot get by placeholder. So we can see our locator is correct or not, so we can open the website. I am opening the website, and we can inspect the password field. I'm clicking on inspect, and here we can see here is not any placeholder, so we need to use the get by label locator, not get by placeholder. That's why our test case is failing at these steps. So we can use the get by label for the password. So let's use this. I'm commenting this code and enabling this get by label code, so we can see it's executed successfully or not. So let's run again. I'm executing this headed command, so we can see test case is started running, website is open successfully, pass username is entered. I think our changes is not saved, so let me save these changes. Killing terminal and opening new terminal. Let's run again this hyphen hyphen headed command, enter, and test case is started running, website is open successfully, username is enter. Again it's failing, so now let me close the terminal, save the code, control yes, again opening new terminal and triggering this hyphen hyphen error command, and let's see what will happen, our code is saved or not. Now username and password is entered successfully, and login is successful and logout is successful, so we can execute like this. Again we can use a second debug method. Let me revert my code. We can keep the get by placeholder and comment this get by label comment code. So let me use command hyphen hyphen debug npx playwright test, then test case name, then space hyphen hyphen debug, then enter. Let's see what will happen. I think our code is not saved. Let me save this code again. Close the terminal, kill the terminal. Save this control. Let's open the new terminal. Type the command with hyphen hyphen debug and then enter. We can see after this command triggering, we can see this is the blank page. This becomes an issue only if the test finish without page.go to or navigation code never execute or test crashes before navigation. In debug mode, however, blank page equal to pause execution. So to make debugging clearer during this, uh, we can use a wait page.pause. This ensures page is loaded, then execution pauses, no confusion with about colon blank. So let me open the playwright test of what is happening in execution. So here we can see it's a wait page.go to test case executed and it is a stop here. So let me play this test case step by step. Website is open and enter the username, but here we can see password is not enter successfully because here we are using get by placeholder locator, and this is get by placeholder is not present and at DOM. So we can see here test case is failed here, and we can. And also already we open the this website and check here is not placeholder is present for the password. That's why this test case is failing. So we need to use the get by label locator. Let me revert my code again. We can comment the get by placeholder code and keep the get by label locator for the password field. And let me save this code, kill the terminal, open new terminal, right click here, terminal, new terminal, type command npx playwright test case name space hyphen hyphen debug, enter, and now test case is running started. We can open this report and we can click on this resume button, and then we can see here website is opening. Enter username and password and log in successfully, log out successfully. So we need to use the get by label locator, not get by placeholder. We already seen where our test case is failing here at the password, and we use the get by placeholder that was not present on the DOM. That's why our test case was failed. So we need to use the get by label. And so we already debug this code, inspect the password field and open the DOM, and we check the here for the password we use the we have label not the placeholder, so we need to use the get by label locator. So already seen the root cause, text is label not a placeholder, that's why our test case is failed. We corrected the code with the locator get by label. After that our test case is passed successfully. So before fixing a test, we need to check that this element is present in on the DOM, and also our locator is correct and element is visible. Is it label, role or text? So we need to validate all this, and we need for the debugging we need to follow this order, means run with hyphen hyphen debug, and then after that we need to use the inspector and verify the DOM locator is present like this, and then after that fix the locator and rerun test. So one point is missing, and now we can see debug method 3 page.pause. Sometimes we don't want to debug the entire test. We want only to pause at specific step, and that's where page.pause helps. When playwright reaches this line, execution stops and inspector open. This is the perfect for live debugging while developing test. So let me open the Visual Studio, and here we are using a wait page.pause debug command. And for this, what happens when we run this command with this code? We have this page, and then after that, I have added a wait page dot pause. Execution flow will be browser open in header mode, and then Playwright Inspector opens, test run normally. Page navigate to the login URL, and execution pauses exactly at await page dot pause. And Inspector attaches to the loaded page. This is the cleanest way to show debugging. So let me run this. We can use the command debug command. We can use this. We can use command npx playwright test case name space hyphen hyphen debug for showing await page dot page means pause to show inspector. Enter. Test case is started running, and here we have this report. I think our code is not saved. Let me save this code. Kill the terminal. Save this using Control S. Open new terminal. Type debug command. Enter. Open this. Now we can see here our code is executed with latest code. Let me resume this code. Resume, and it will wait here. Means our code is pause for some millisecond. Then we can again resume, and our test case is executed successfully. I think it is open in another browser. It's pause for some millisecond, and we can resume again. So test case is executed successfully. Also password is entered correctly because we use the get by label. So always remember playwright or trust on DOM. Semantic locator prevents bugs. So when we think like playwright, debugging becomes easy. So good locators reduce debugging, bad locators increase debugging. Always remember this. So we already covered the debugging test case. We corrected our locator, and after that our test case is executed successfully. So we need to use correct locator. We need to check in DOM, inspect the correct element, uh, take the correct locator, and then after that execute the our test case. So test case is execute with the correct locator. Thank you. If this video help you understand Playwright debugging, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment Playwright CI with GitHub action. Run test automatically on every comment tutorial next. So thank you for watching. We'll meet again. in next video. Thank you.